Hi there, it's time for another game review here on the Silverbird Selection, and this time we're going to look at a Silverbird release from 1988. It's Ninja Scooter Simulator, one of several games that Silverbird released around this time with the name Simulator in the title, and I think we all know why that was. It was obviously a response to Codemasters and their range of simulator games. We saw Mastertronic do it. If you've seen some of my Mastertronic videos, they did the same thing, put the word simulator on a couple of games just to make them appear in the same vein as the Codemasters games. So anyway, this is a very common game to find on eBay, and it only cost me £1 several years ago, probably 5 or 6 years ago, but even now you can get it for £2 to £3. So let's take a look at the game and see what ninja scootering is all about. Now before we take a look at this packaging, we should probably establish exactly what a ninja scooter is, because it's not what's on the front of this packaging. And ninja scooters were a type of scooter released in the mid to late 80s to sort of compete with the BMX and skateboarding craze of that time. So I'll put some pictures up on the screen, in fact, so you can see what a ninja scooter is. Now I've seen reviews of this game on Lemon64 and also the Zap64 review, and they all seem to be a bit surprised that there's no ninjas in the game, and it's obvious that they just didn't know what a ninja scooter was. So you can see from the pictures they've got the pads on like BMX's had, they're in bright colours, they've got the mag wheels, they've also got the colourful decks like a skateboard would have. So that's what a ninja scooter is. So with all that in mind, let's take a closer look at the cover, and you can see that whoever was asked to do this cover had no idea what a ninja scooter was, because they've done a ninja on a scooter. Not a very good representation of a ninja either, not very well drawn. He's got his sword, some spikes and things on the scooter, which ninja scooters obviously didn't have. The logo's alright for the game, and we've got the price sticker still on the front of this one, actually, I've just noticed. So the spine's got that logo on as well. And then on the back cover we've got 4 screenshots which look like they're from the Amstrad version, and you can see it's a side-scrolling scooter racing thing with ramps and stuff like that. No obvious sign of ninjas there. And the blurb about the game says slam out with this sidewalk scooting troubleshooter, which again is implying that you're a ninja on a scooter, which it's just not that. Let's take a look at the inlay and see if it's any better than the outside then, and we've got the usual list of games that are coming soon, which includes Ninja Scooter Simulator, which we're obviously reviewing right now, so well done again there, Firebird Software. The usual thing asking about the new Silverbird packaging. Let's be honest, it's not very good. And then also the mail order stuff, so let's move on to the instructions. As you can see, it's copyright probe software, and it gives you a little blurb about the game, which sounds to me like it was written by someone's dad trying to be cool. That last line in particular, you've got to beat the clock to beat the rest, so don't hang around, ninja scooter's the best. So apart from that, it does say whiz through the night on your dream scooter, jumping and dodging the gates that could slow your progress. So it doesn't actually say anything about being a ninja, so at least that's something positive about it. So we've got the loading instructions, and then at the bottom there we've got how to play the game. So you've got up and down controls the movement on the pavement, left and right for slowing down and speeding up, fire to jump, and then when you hit a ramp you can press fire in the air and do right for a trick or left for a mid-air rotate. So there's the possibility to earn bonus points by the looks of it, but again, someone's dad comes out at the end and goes, go for it, wicked. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So here we have the loading screen, and it's another pathetic one from Silverbird. Literally just a purple screen with now loading Ninja Scooter Simulator, and also the copyright there, Probe Software. They also did the Beach Buggy Simulator. That was my first review in this series. Pretty sure they might be responsible for the other 2 simulator games as well. So yeah, loading screen, terrible. Okay, so here we have the title screen. Pretty nicely presented. You've got Ninja Scooter Simulator at the top there, the player scores. You can obviously see there's a time limit on this game. Some options for redefining the keys, having music or sound effects, 1 or 2 player. Just show you what happens when you press those different options. So if you go to music only, the arrow moves to that, or sound effects only. And also the 1 and 2 player, another arrow there, so that's quite nicely done. We've also got what looks like a policeman running across the bottom of the screen. Not really sure what the relevance of that is, but I'm pretty sure that's a policeman and not a ninja. Background music on the title screen is pretty decent as well, I think. It's got a slightly ninja-ish sort of feeling to it. You know, and it's slightly Japanese sounding. It's quite an upbeat synth tune, not one of the best by any means, but it's alright. So let's get on with the game. Try and explain what you need to do. So I've gone with sound effects because it's much easier to play with sound effects than the music. So basically you're racing your scooter across this landscape. You've got to jump over ramps, avoid obstacles like walls. There's various tiles on the floor that... oh, there's also skulls that come along, which is a bit unusual. There's various tiles on the floor, like there's rollers that will make you slow down. There's holes that you'll obviously fall into. The policeman running behind can crash into you. There's also panels that don't really do much at all. You can jump with the fire button. There's things to collect like that time bonus there. And what else is there? Oh yeah, there's these sort of speed up sections as well, which doesn't really help when you speed up into a wall. So yeah, I'm not going to make it to the end of the game there, the end of the first stage, but I just wanted to show the various elements to it. So we'll go again. So left and right, right speeds you up, left slows you down, up moves you up the screen, down moves you down the screen, and fire makes you jump. As it said in the instructions, if you jump off a ramp, oops, and hold the fire button down, you've got a couple of different options. So, if you push the joystick to the right when the fire button's held down, then you can do a stunt, which earns you some points. And if you push it left, you can do a spin, which I just did there, you might have noticed. I'll try that again in a sec. There you go, so you can also do a spin. So they earn you bonus points along the course. So I finished the first stage there. The first few stages are quite reasonably easy, I think, as long as you don't hit too many obstacles. So here you can see the different moves you can do off the ramps. You can do little stunts and stuff. Nothing spectacular by any means, but it does add a little bit of extra to the game. Ooh, hit a wall there. So it's basically just a case of making your way along, doing some stunts, avoiding the obstacles, trying not to get stuck on the things that slow you down. Don't get hit by the policeman. And get to the end of the stage. So as I was saying, unlike Beach Buggy Simulator, where the first stage was really difficult and made it sort of prohibitive to get any further, with this one, you can actually get quite far in it quite quickly. This level has suddenly got like a seaside background on it as well. You do hit things a lot. But I think the more you play it, you do learn where the obstacles are and how to react to them. So I think there's definitely value in playing it more than once. In terms of the graphics, they're pretty basic. I think the detail on the ramps is quite nice. Some of the tiles on the floor are a bit boring. The main player sprite's quite nice. I like how he... oh, I've run out of time, so I'll go again. So I like how he pushes his foot down to push the scooter along. That's a nice touch and something that definitely didn't need to be done. Other than that, the graphics are fairly unspectacular. The backgrounds aren't particularly good, for example. There's also not much variety from one stage to the next. I've read people saying that this game resembles the arcade game from Namco, Metro Cross. And I think superficially it does, in that there's different tiles on the floor that make your vehicle behave in different ways, but I don't really think it's much like Metro Cross, other than it's got the side-scrolling sort of mechanism to it as well, which was the same, but those are really the only similarities. So I think just say it's obviously inspired by Metro Cross, or used some of the sort of gameplay elements from it, but to say it's just a clone of Metro Cross I don't think is completely fair. So try and get through to some of the later stages. As you can see, you start off at night and then suddenly it's daytime and you're by the beach. Seems to be by some docks on this stage. Sound wise, they're a bit basic sort of spot effects and an annoying sort of beeping sound in the background, which seemed a bit unnecessary. But you know, they do the job, they're nothing special. So let's see if I can get past this third level, and to do that I'm not going to be able to crash into too many walls. The skulls are a bit of a strange addition. Don't remember seeing many skulls as I was riding me BMX or skateboard down the street. I never had a Ninja scooter, by the way, I just remember them from the 80s. Clearly they hadn't really become very prevalent at the point this game was released, because no one else who seems to have reviewed it or looked it up on Lemon seems to know anything about the real Ninja scooters. No, I don't think I'm going to make it, unfortunately. Right near the finish line. Let's give it another try. I'll just skip through the first couple of levels and we'll try again on the third. Okay, so I finally made it to round 4 and suddenly we're scootering in the snow for some reason. Interesting background choice, but there you go. And it's more of the same, otherwise it's you know, same sort of obstacles, no new obstacles added even though the background's changed. Oh dear, that didn't go very well. Yeah, you definitely need to hit a few of those sort of speed up platforms and also ideally get one of the time bonuses. Oh, I've made it though. Okay, so now on to round 5. And it's back in the night time now by the looks of it. So a limited number of different background options, but at least it adds a little bit of variety. Ooh, blimey. Oh, we've now got skateboarding skeletons, that's hard to say, coming at us. So that's a new addition. So maybe I spoke too soon about it adding the variety. Quite a reasonable run there, all it was, until I said that. Oops, watch out for the skeleton. And another one. I made it to the end of that level as well. I'm on a bit of a good run here. Yeah, so this is another background that we've already seen. So yeah, I think overall I quite like it. It didn't get very good reviews. It hasn't got good reviews on Lemon, but I think it's not too bad a game. We'll get to the reviews in a moment when I've finished this run through. It can be a bit annoying, but I do think it offers a challenge for high scores. You've got the risk reward of doing the stunts off the ramps, because if you do the stunt and you're in the middle of it and you hit something, you can't pull out of it, so there is a little bit of risk reward there. Don't think I'm going to make it to the end of this one. Oh, I am. Wow. I've not got this far in the game before. Oop, that was not a good start. Although I might have just picked up the time bonus there, which will help. And another one. Oh, and another one. You know, it's quite satisfying to jump over a ramp, jump over a brick wall, and then do a stunt at the end of it as well. And another time bonus. Wow, it's very generous with the time bonuses on this stage. Very generous with the walls as well. Oh dear, that has not gone well. But I'm pretty close to the end of this stage, yeah. There's another stage completed, and I'm nearly up to 20,000 points now, which will get me onto the high score table. And that's another positive for this game, is finally a game that's got a high score table on it, so that when you get a score you can actually record it somewhere and not just lose it. Oh dear, this is not going so well. Oh dear. Okay, it's getting a bit embarrassing now. Oh, dearie me. And yeah, I've still somehow managed to survive that level. I think it's been a bit too generous with the time now. I'm beginning to wonder if this is just a repeat of earlier levels now, actually. It's starting to seem a bit familiar in places. You can get stuck in places where you just get crashing over and over again. Still managed to beat it though, just with a couple of seconds or time units, because it's clearly not seconds. A couple of bit of time to spare. I think I'm just going to let this run out now, because I think we've seen enough really. And it's probably starting to get a bit tedious to watch, even if I'm quite enjoying how far I'm getting on it. So let's just let him trundle to the end. So that's finally game over. And as you can see, I've got my name in the high score table. You've got to do very well to get the top score, which is 50,000, but I got 28,000. So there we go. So that's it. That's the game done and dusted in terms of showing it to you. So let's move on to the scores. While we listen to a bit more of that tune, which as I said, I think is quite good as well. So let's start with packaging. Packaging was terrible. They didn't know what Ninja scooters were. The text in the instructions was embarrassingly bad. The picture was bad on the cover. So yeah, 3 out of 10 for packaging. Presentation though, I think is pretty decent. The loading screen was crap, but the options on the main title screen, the title screen itself, the fact it's got a high score table, all pretty decent. So I'm going to go 6 out of 10 for the presentation. And for graphics, I'm going 6 out of 10 as well, because I think the graphics were quite nice. Not spectacular sprite wise, but some of the ramps and obstacles were quite nicely drawn. The backgrounds were okay as well, and they did change from one round to the next. Sound, again, I'm going to give 6 out of 10. Music's very good. Well, not very good. The music's decent, and the sound effects within the game pretty average, but alright, you know, they did the job quite well, I think. And then we get to playability, and again, it's getting a bit boring now, but I'm going to give playability 6 out of 10 as well. I think it's not perfect. You do crash a lot. You do have to learn the layouts of the levels quite a bit, but the ability to pull the little stunts off the ramps and race through the courses and set high scores and record high scores. The fact it's got a 2-player mode so you could play against somebody else, I think they're all good points for the playability. So yeah, an easy 6 out of 10, slightly above average, even if the gameplay is a bit repetitive and could get a bit frustrating. So with all that in mind, my total score I'm giving it is 6.3, and I would definitely say it was worth $1.99. I think it's a decent little budget game. You don't expect amazing things from budget games. It's not amazing, but I think it's got enough to it to make it replayable for a high score chaser like myself, and there is things you can learn within the game to make yourself better at it. So yeah, all in all, I'm surprisingly a little bit impressed by that. More impressed than I thought it was going to be. So if you ever played Ninja Scooter Simulator, or you knew what a Ninja Scooter was, unlike the people that produced the packaging for this game, then let me know in the comments. Let me know if you agree with my sort of slightly surprising review of it, or if you think it was utter garbage, then tell me that too. And I'll see you next time for another game review. Thanks for watching.